So, welcome back to Breaking the Pain Cycle Mind Body Tools to Transform Chronic Pain, Part 4. I'm Laura Haraka, somatic experiencing practitioner, breathwork facilitator, and mind body coach. So, how many of you have ever bought a new or a new used car? When I bought my new used red Jeep Wrangler, I said, I'm going to be the coolest mom in Bloomfield, New Jersey, because no one else has a red Jeep Wrangler. Well, as soon as I said that, all of a sudden there were more and more red Jeep Wranglers that I saw. I'm sure some of you have experienced this phenomenon. This is because of our reticular activating system. The red Jeeps were always there, but now my brain had a focus on red Jeeps. So, why do I tell you this? It's because what we focus on grows. And when we focus on the pain will grow. Imagine two flowers on separate windowsills. One gets light and water and we talk to it. The other has the shades closed and we forget to water it. What happens to the one we focus on? It grows. So, what do you want to focus on now? And how can this help you take your power back? So, number one, starting a morning routine. One of the most critical hours of the day is within waking. Your brain is in a theta wave state where it is highly neuroplastic and highly impressionable to what we expose ourselves to. Our brain is kind of like a sponge. So even if you're not in pain right now, understanding the fact that what you focus on grows can change your life. So I challenge you to every morning to start your day immediately with an intention, such as I will give and receive gratitude throughout my day. Or I move through this day with ease and peace. And say it immediately in the morning as soon as you open your eyes. Our reticular activating system in our clever brain brought me more red Jeeps. It does the same thing with our intentions. And the second thing is to create an evidence list. Write down the evidence that supports why this is a mind body condition. And the reticular activating system will bring you more evidence to make this true. So, chronic pain patients all think there has to be something going on in my body that is causing this. And when the brain believes the body is damaged, it responds with pain. Our brains give us what we expect and what we ask for. If you say, I have a bad back, it's kind of like if you order chicken in a restaurant. What do you get? Chicken. However, if you change your mind and catch the server in time, you can get something else. You can create new experiences. And your brain doesn't know the difference between a visualization and what's really happening. So every morning, visualize the life you want to live, and your brain will start to learn from that and carry those experiences. To show you this concept, there was an experiment done of four groups of athletes. Group one had 100% physical training and zero mental training. Group two had 75% physical training and 25% mental training. And group three had 50% physical training and 50% mental training. Group four had 25% physical training and 75% physical training. Which group do you think performed the best? Well, if you guessed group four, you were correct. Interesting, right? So now let's talk about placebos. Who has ever had an experience of the placebo effect? 32% of all medical healings come from the placebo effect. So let me share with you an experiment that was done on hotel housekeepers. This group of hotel housekeepers gets a lot of exercise, and they split the group into two. And they told half of them that their work was incredible for their bodies, and they were burning more calories than the average person. They were told, you are going to lose weight just by having this job. The ones that thought they were burning more calories lost weight and decreased their blood pressure by 10 points. There was no difference in diet and workout routine. This is why the belief of the mind body syndrome is so important. So you might be saying, this can't help me if I have a disease or a chronic condition. So genes are activated by signals in the environment. And I'm not negating genetic makeup, but let me share this mind blowing experiment with you. There were two groups of people with diabetes and dependent on insulin. Each group had their fasting blood sugar tested to determine a baseline. One group watched a funny movie and the other a serious documentary. Then they both ate the same meal. The participants in the group that watched the funny movie did not need as much insulin, and their blood sugar rose half as much as the one who watched the documentary. This group altered 23 gene expressions by laughing. This elevated state of mind triggered the brain to send a new signal to their cells, which allowed their body to naturally regulate their blood sugar. Stress causes inflammation, digestive issues, cardiovascular problems, skin conditions, sleep disorders, and chronic pain. So, this is why your homework is to watch The Funniest Comedian on Netflix. It's free. And notice what happens in your body when we focus on fun and not pain. So, there's many ways to take your power back. But what we want to do is one, regulate your nervous system. Two, find a way to feel your emotions. Number three, reprocess learned pain and lower fear through somatic experiencing or pain reprocessing. And four, create a new neural pathway. So I'm going to teach you right now an easy and quick breathing technique to regulate your nervous system. It's called the ocean breath. So I invite you to take your hand and hold it up to your mouth like you are going to fog up a mirror and make the ha sound. Notice the sound is coming from the back of your throat. We're constricting the glottis. Do it one more time. Now put your hand down, close your mouth, and breathe in and out of your nose, putting your awareness on the back of your throat. And you should hear a whisper, or an ocean, or a Darth Vader type sound. And just do this for the next 10 or 15 breaths. Because as you're doing this, breathing in and out of your nose, you're activating your vagus nerve, which activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your calm, your rest, and digest. And just continue breathing like this, putting your awareness on the back of your throat. And as you come back to your normal breath, notice what you feel in your body. How does it feel now? Does it feel more present, calm, centered? So this is one way to regulate your nervous system. And I would invite you, you can find this breath on my YouTube channel. Now, there are many ways to feel your emotions in your body. And one technique is journaling. So why would you write it down? So let me ask you, what's 3 plus 7? Right? We all know the answer is 10. And we did it really quick in our head. So now if I give you a more complicated problem like 3,462 plus 21,349, and you don't have a calculator or a computer. So if you can't do it in your head, what would be the easiest way to figure it out? Well, yes, we'd write it down. So more complex problems, you would use a pen and a paper. So you have all these things in your head, emotions, feelings, past beliefs. Is that less complex than figuring out an addition problem that you take time to write down? So why do we figure out our entire life in our heads? Our lives are complex, so let's put it on paper. And when you put it on paper, it becomes easier. So the objective is to put it on paper and feel it in your body. So your suffering and your healing go hand in hand, and they happen to be in your hands. You don't need to suffer alone. Pain is real, feelings are valid, and support is vital. So I want to leave you with one thought. In your head, think of the three things that are most important in your life right now. Most people, or the most common answer, or one of the most common answers, is to say health. And health is one of the most important things people say, but it's one of the things we make the least commitment toward. So make a commitment to yourself because you are worth it. So there's many ways to heal from chronic pain. I offer workshops on somatic experiencing techniques, uncovering limiting beliefs for self-care, breath work, and imposter syndrome. And on my YouTube and Insight Timer, I have free breath works that are a great resource for healing from chronic pain. So use the QR code, which goes to my useful links for my podcasts, my coaching, breathworks interviews, and for my online group coaching, the Pelvic Healing Circle. I hope that some of these tools will be very helpful to you to regulate your nervous system and feel your emotions. Let me know what you think.